What's up guys, it's your favorite Kiwi coach and give me 6 months of your time and I'll give you the best golf swing of your life. So welcome back to the channel. In this particular video, we are going to be reacting to another YouTube golf instructor, and this particular video is going to be about the simple golf swing. So what I'm going to be trying to do in this particular video is take a little bit different approach than we typically do. Yes, I'm going to be reacting to this video, but I'm going to try to keep in mind, you the viewer watching this video and what points that you would probably take away from this video. And are those points actually actionable? And how should you be watching YouTube videos to get the best out of the video so you can actually get better at your golf game? So if that sounds interesting to you, this is the perfect video for you, and let's go ahead and jump in. But before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, and that is Kiwi Golf Japan. If you did not know, YouTube does not pay the bills. So if you want to help support this channel after the video is over, there'll be a link down to our membership site. If you guys sign up, you'll get access to 330 videos on the site currently, and we upload right around 20 videos every single month. So if you're interested in that, after the video is over, check out that link, and now let's get into the video. Okay, let's give a little bit of context before we start this video. So this is going to be a video from Segudo Golf. So he became popular, I believe, right around 3 years ago. I haven't researched him too much, so I apologize if he was popular before that. But when I first started to kind of see him was right around 3 years ago, and I've just looked at him recently again, and he's grown quite a lot on YouTube, and he's becoming quite popular. From what I can gather from watching his videos, most of the videos are talking about simple golf swing. That's the title of quite a lot of the videos, and I think the overall maybe appeal to him is that simple golf swing. So he's going to be teaching you maybe a simple few things that are not going to be too complicated to implement, and you're going to get a whole lot better, and you're not going to have to go through all the technical and all the hard work to be able to get to the end result. Right? That's kind of what he preaches. So now the point of the video that I'm trying to take is I'm not necessarily going to be trying to bash on him personally. I just think that he's a great example of what I'm seeing kind of with this trend of simple golf lately. I do want to kind of go over, kind of the issues with the simple golf teaching approach. How there's not necessarily many measurable or takeaway checkpoints that you can actually implement into your golf swing. I'm going to be kind of bringing that up as he kind of speaks so you can kind of see it real time. And the purpose of this video, like I said in the intro, is to show you guys, how should you be watching YouTube videos to get the best value out of the video yourself? Because I think there's some great value in this video. I just think it's kind of shrouded with a lot of just, let's call it gospel preach in between this, which could really be misleading if you kind of allow yourself to kind of take the whole thing from the video. So let's go figure out the best points of this video. Let's break down the points that are kind of silly, and then from there we'll go ahead. So let's go ahead and jump in.
If you imagine ball striking perfection, you probably think of a PGA Tour player, or maybe even Ben Hogan, just striping shot after shot on the driving range with that buttery smooth, easy looking golf swing. And a lot of golfers think that they can't get to that level of ball striking because they don't have enough time to practice. But that couldn't be further from the truth.
Okay, so here's kind of the first reason why I'm going to be calling him like the gospel golf instructor, is he's already making a claim that you guys can be just as good as Ben Hogan when it comes to ball striking. And we all know that's probably one of the most silly statements you could possibly make, right? There's a reason why certain golfers are Hall of Fame members and kind of well known for being the best ball strikers of all time. And there's a reason why a lot of amateur golfers never get anywhere close to that. It's a lot to do with talent level, right? Athleticism as well as time. And he's kind of preaching this whole thing already that, you don't need a lot of time. You just need to know this simple swing thought and you will hit it just like Ben Hogan, right? This is why I'm going to be calling him the gospel golf instructor throughout this whole video. So let's continue.
In today's video, I'm going to show you the simplest golf swing technique ever that I've seen. And we're going to be basing it off of Ben Hogan and one of my new favorites on tour, Harold Bunner III. Most golfers have too many moving parts, and that's why you're confused. That's why you're here on YouTube looking up golf tips.
Okay, so here's where these instructors kind of draw you in, and this is kind of the points of the videos that I do think are great takeaway points, right? Most golfers out there have too many moving parts, and to break that down into kind of our own terminology, we call that kind of wobbliness, right? So let's say on the backswing, the takeaway, the club head gets way inside. Top of the swing, the club head gets way cross to the top. Right around the transition, it starts to flatten. Then right around P5 to P6, it flattens even more. And then kind of after P6 and impact, you kind of throw the club towards the golf ball and twist the shaft like crazy. To us, that would be wobbliness, right? That's exactly kind of what he's referencing as well, right? A lot of golfers have too many moving parts, which is absolutely true, right? He's drawing you into the video. But I'm going to show you how this could be an issue if you kind of follow everything that he's talking about here in a second, but let's continue.
So you're going to take the club back, you're going to lift the arms, you're going to rotate the hands, you're going to do a whole little dance back here in the backswing. And then by the time you get to the downswing, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do some more dance. I'm going to drop the club, roll.
You know, his dad or, you know, someone close to him has to be a preacher, like a gospel preacher. Just by the way he's like doing his whole thing right now, it's like very, very similar to that. Now, I'm sure the Japanese audience watching this has no clue what I'm talking about, but the American audience knows exactly what I'm talking about. And if you guys are in Japan, just go look up a gospel preacher and then go listen to them, and it's going to sound very close to this guy. But let's continue.
Pull the hands over. It's just far too confusing. So we need to take that out and enter in the Hogan, Harold Varner type of golf swing mindset. Today we're just going to think about getting rid of all those moving parts, making the golf swing very simple. And I want you to visualize club path. When we look at Hogan or Harold Varner,
you know, I bet if we went into his analytics, and I don't think you can maybe possibly do this, but the interest of his subscribers, I can almost guarantee you, are going to be Christian. I can almost guarantee you. This is why I think he's so popular. I feel like he's found his niche amongst Christian golfers, preaching the gospel of golf and going forward. Anyways, that doesn't matter in this video. Let's continue.
And I think their swings are the simplest swings in golf history. It's almost like they take the club back and it stops nice and short here. That's the first piece. And then they got a second piece, the downswing. And the club just travels right back on that same line into impact and through.
Yeah, he's close. It's almost like is what he said. So it's not like he said it's exactly this way. So I do agree with that. They are very close. So if you take a look at the club head path, let's just say, you'll see the club head path kind of goes a little bit more on the flatter side on the backswing. And then as it starts to kind of go downwards, it actually kind of works out towards the golf ball and then down. But the overall looping action is quite tight amongst Ben Hogan and Harold Varner. Now, I personally don't like this type of action. I don't like kind of the inside over the top. But, you know, it's obviously been quite successful of a move. I'm more so in the pattern that I like to see a little bit more on top of the plane and then below and then out towards the golf ball is more so what I like to see. But again, you know, that's just kind of more so preference at that point. Obviously, he wants to see a little bit more on the flatter side and then out. And this is something that you're going to see, you know, if you do know golf instruction, the more and more he talks, he's very much preaching a stack and tilt golf swing. So he either had some type of golf machinist history and then switched to stack and tilt, or I don't know how old he is. Maybe he just started out with stack and tilt and then kind of modified it into kind of his own version is kind of what I'm seeing here. And the way that he's modified it based off what I've watched from this video is more so he's just modified it to the golf gospel. It's kind of what he's done, but let's continue.
It's just 1 and 2. They hit the ball beautifully, they mash it, they move on with their life, and they play some more golf because it's fun. So we need to think about club path. You're probably used to doing too much in the golf swing.
See, this I can 100% agree with, right? This is him drawing you in. I agree with that, though. That's 100%
tough.
Perfect.
So take a handy-dandy alignment stick or golf club and do this for me. I want you to lay the club down on the ground for a target line. And then the second thing I want you to do is get another club or alignment stick. And we're going to lay this down just slightly inside of it.
Okay, so I guess at this point you could call this maybe the checkpoints of the video for the first section, right? So the first part is talking about club path essentially, or kind of hand path, as well as club shaft and club head path. You can kind of think about that as all is the same in this case, even though he didn't really quite distinguish that. But what he's trying to get you to do is, you know, put a target line or alignment stick, parallel right of the target line, and then put another alignment stick that's going to be intersecting the alignment stick that is parallel right, and it looks like it's going to be kind of from more so from an in to out type of model, maybe right around 15 degrees is kind of what he's applying right there, which is, you know, quite drastically in to out, but you know, whatever. This is his video, let's go with it.
All right, target line, that goes through your target. This line is the line you're going to trace the club on. So just think about the golf swing like this. You've set up to the ball beautifully. You're going to swing the club on this line right here, the inward line. Just keep swinging the club back on that line all the way to the top.
Okay, so this is where if you kind of take what he's talking about literally, he's absolutely wrong. However, I'm getting the purpose and kind of the target audience of this video. So me personally, I understand what he's trying to get across here, but let me kind of break that down for you guys that might be confused. So if you take the club head straight back on this line, the only way to physically do that is to get your plane close to 90 degrees. So your club head should be actually right around here at the top, right? Which means that your hands would be way out here and your club head would be way out here, right? Because that's swinging on the same line as the alignment stick. However, his hands are over here and his club head is over here. So he has not swung on the same line or the same plane, right? He has actually shifted the plane to a little bit more of a flatter plane, somewhere right around P2, right? So he has allowed the club shaft to flatten, right? He's done that through the pronation in the wrist, right? Forearm rotation, the torque that he applied to the club. All of that he has done to kind of get the club head over here. Now, in terms of the target audience, right? People who are trying to have more of a simplified approach, who don't want all the technical stuff, this probably works out quite well, because a lot of amateur golfers, their classic mistake is they tend to get the arms across the chest too much, right? They tend to get the elbow bending quite a lot, the wrist hinging quite a lot, cocking quite a lot. So this could be a simplified feeling or image for those players that could work quite well. But when it comes down to the realistic checkpoints, if someone takes this quite realistically or quite, as exactly how he says it, you probably would get a really terrible golf swing. But this is, again, going to my point. When you guys are watching these YouTube golf instructors, you got to be careful with your takeaway points, right? You got to really understand who the video is created for, the way that they're going to word certain things. You got to be careful with that as you start to watch through these videos, right? So let's continue.
Once you get to the top, you're done. There's no thinking, no extra movements. You're just taking the club back on that line. So here we are, and boom.
Okay, all right, that's it for you guys on YouTube, but before you guys click off the video, let me give you some quick wrap-up points. So that was Segudo Golf, and he's well known, as you guys probably saw from this video, for the simplified golf swing. I think guys like Segudo are becoming a lot more popular these days because the last few years it's been so heavy with the golf science that there's just been so much information about the golf swing put out there, so technical analysis, that a lot of the average viewers are quite jaded with that technical content because there's no real actual plan with that as well. So they're trying to find something simple. They think that the simplified approach will be best. Just give me one thing to think about that's something simple, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think for a certain audience that they will definitely stick with that, and that's probably what the content they should be watching. But I think for the vast majority of people, typically somewhere in the middle of those two extremes would probably be where you want to be. Because the issue with the simplified approach is there's no real actual measurable checkpoint, so you don't know if you're doing it good or bad. You just have to rely on your feeling and what they tell you. With the golf science, there's so much information that even if there is a good approach on how to actually implement it, there's too much stuff to implement, right? So those are the extremes. We feel like here at Kiwi Golf Japan, we're somewhere in the middle. So if you guys want to have that kind of middle ground for you golf nerds out there, it is the perfect membership site to go ahead and sign up for. So make sure to click on that link. You'll get access to 330 videos on the site currently, and we upload right around 20 videos every single month. So go ahead and check that out. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.